How's it going, boys? We're back at it again, and today we're going to be making a tips and tricks video for new players and returning players, or people just haven't been in the loop for quite a while. I don't want to make this too long, and so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and this one is mostly for new players, whenever you're choosing a class or whenever you're starting the game, the archetype doesn't really matter. Those weapon combinations that they give you at the beginning of the game, that is so you can just have a head start with the weapons that you will prefer to play, but that has absolutely no impact in the future of the game. And when it comes down to the profession bonuses that they get, also do not worry about that. That is not even that meaningful of an impact, and you will quickly get those professions up later in the game. So start with the archetype that you like, and if 30 minutes later you don't like that anymore, don't worry, because you will probably find a weapon with a quest or on the open world, and then you can just immediately change weapon. You are not locked on those weapons that you pick at the beginning of the game. Also, going on that, do not worry about professions when you're leveling up. Obviously, you know, everybody's different and you guys play the game the way that you want to. If you want to take it super slow and appreciate the world and then level up your professions and gather every resource as you level up, by all means, New World is a beautiful game that gives you the ability to do all of those things. But now, if you are a player that wants to get to the end game, because, well, most of the time in an MMO, that's when the fun starts, including New World. That's when you're going to be able to do PvP. That's when you're going to be able to, you know, join the raids and just do the end game fun activities. Do not worry about professions. The reason why you shouldn't worry about professions is because leveling up professions whenever you're low level is going to take an incredible amount of time. Why? Because the tools that you have, they are incredibly low level and they take a while to gather their resources. So instead, you will get to max level, and once you are max level, you will buy a max level tool, and then you can go back and level up the professions, gathering the resources super fast with a lot more yield, making the professional leveling up experience like pretty much 2-3 times as fast. The other thing is, do not worry about the weight of the gear. I know that as you're leveling up, you're going to get like a piece of heavy gear or medium gear or light gear. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're having fun and as long as you're still killing NPCs relatively easy, then you shouldn't be concerned about. Maybe you don't know this, but if you were to open your inventory and you look at this bar to the left of your character, you can see that this bar breaks into 3 little segments. The segment down below, that is the light one, the middle one is medium, and then after that on top, everything is heavy. So if you want to remain light, which what does light give? Well, if you hover over here, it tells you the benefits of every single one of the weight loads, right? So if you want to remain light because you like the role, then make sure that you never go beyond that line. Now, the closer you get to that line without going past it, is the better you are, because this line represents essentially how much armor you have. So if you want to be a medium player, but you are down here, that means that you are a medium player with medium mobility, but essentially have like a light player's protection. And that's not a good thing. So as you level up, this is not really a concern. This is mostly for whenever you hit max level and you are min-maxing for both PvP and PvE. But don't worry about that just now. And the last tip for new players is, please do not go to Reddit. Honestly, I cannot stress this enough. Do not go to Reddit for literally anything. Don't go there to ask questions. Don't go there seeking enlightenment. Don't go there seeking verification. Like, that is a dark place filled with negativity, and the worst scum of the community has gathered in that wretched place. So please do not go to Reddit. If you have a question, you have amazing content creators like J Oddity and Baggins and Langy in the morning, and then in the afternoon you have myself. And yes, we have content creators that will be able to answer all of your questions, and you can also join our discourse and join our communities, and we are actively playing the game, looking at the bright side and giving you the most up-to-date, because pretty much everybody on Reddit hates themselves, so they want other people to be the same. But anyways, let's talk a little bit more about, you know, once you are like max level, or you're getting to max level and you don't know what to do. Well, the first thing that I recommend for you to do is finish the MSQ. Finish all the way up to the Elysian Wild, where you get the attuned leather pants. In the meantime, if you were doing quests in Brimstone Sands, you probably unlocked the hard rune. But if you didn't unlock the hard rune while you were doing your quest line in Brimstone Sand, because it is not a main story quest, this is the location for that quest. If you haven't gotten the hard rune, you should have that quest in that location. Go check it out. Then the next thing is, well, since you're max level right now and you have the max level tools, you should probably focus on gathering and refining professions. Get those to 200, 250, and just those, right? You don't need any of the crafting professions like weaponsmithing, armoring, etc. Those are for later in the game. And the reason why I want you to get your refining professions and gather a profession is because that way you can gather every resource that there is in the game. So if you're exploring, you will never be limited by your level. And also, you can do your daily craft, which it gives you a pretty significant amounts of gold, and is one of the main ways for you to, well, gather resources to craft gear. The next thing is, if you don't have houses, please go ahead and buy houses right now. It is incredible seeing so many max level players don't having a house. And why will you need a house, you might ask? Well, there's two major reasons. One, if you have a house, you can put storages in there, increasing your town storage by a tremendous astronomical amount. And number two, you can put trophies in your house, which increases the damage that you do to NPCs, also helps you with crafting, and it helps you with gathering, and it just gives you some incredible passive bonuses that if you are planning on, being a, playing your world for the long time, this is something that you should invest in. Now, the first house that you buy is going to have, I think it's a 5,000 gold discount. And as a newer player, only buy the low tier houses, all right? You can start already putting, some storage in there and maybe some trophies. As you level up your territory and as you spend more time playing New World, and now you can afford the high level houses, then you can upgrade to those, because the bigger the house, the more storage that you can put in, meaning that you will have more space in that town's inventory. The trophy spaces, they do not increase. Every house has the same amount of storage spaces. Then the next tip is farm artifacts. If you have nothing better to do right now, go ahead and farm artifacts. Farm every single one of them. You never know when you're going to change your build, and you never know which artifact is going to get some major changes done to it, and then maybe you want to play with it, and now you already have it, especially since season 10 is coming out in 14 days from now. So it gives you plenty of time for you to do these things. And on top of that, maybe the mutation that is happening right now, you haven't gotten the artifact from there, and you don't know when that mutation is gonna come back again. So it is a good time to take advantage of that and just farm every single artifact that you can. And while we are talking about mutations, you should probably finish every single one of your normal dungeons so you unlock the mutation level for them. So whenever they come into rotation, next week of this week, you already have all of those dungeons unlocked, and you can jump into the mutation to farm the artifact or to do your dailies. And speaking of dailies, dailies is something that I also recommend. I made a video about dailies, which is going to be here, and go check it out. You can make up to 10,000 gold every single day just by doing dailies while you're at work, or if you only can play maybe for like an hour or two. Getting those 10,000 gold a day for free is actually quite helpful, because a lot of people don't have a lot of gold, and well, saving gold before season 10 is pretty much what we all should be doing, right? Including myself. Then the next thing is go and max out your faction rank, all right? If you don't have a faction and you're max level, please go ahead and choose a faction. You get the faction store, and you also get to PvP. And yes, go ahead and level up your faction rank. One of my favorite places to level up the faction rank is in Elysian Wild. You go there and you grab your faction quest. They give you an insane amount of faction quests and faction tokens, which you can use in the faction vendor to buy your daily orbs and stuff like that, and it's very chill. Some other people will say go to Great Cliff. That is a great place for you to level up your faction. Well, it is. I don't know. I find Great Cliff to be incredibly depressing. I have spent way too much time in that place back in the day PvPing over there. And every once in a while, you might find somebody flagged over there trying to kill you and trying just to grief you. But if you go to the Elysian Wild and you do the PvP missions in the Elysian Wild, there's nobody gonna bother you over there. Then after that, if you have all of your weapons level 20, then you don't have to worry about this. But if you don't, please go ahead and level up all of your weapons. Now leveling your weapons is faster than ever, right? So if you are a veteran, don't forget to use one of the weapon experience token that makes you level up your weapons much faster. And these are the 3 places that I will recommend. In my opinion, the best place still is the mini game at the battle class crossing area. This mini game where you kill Thorpe over and over again is being notoriously for being the best place to farm your weapon experience. Some people argue that it's not, but in my opinion it is, because it is something that you can do by yourself. You don't need other people to help you farm this this weapon experience right here. You can just do it. You have absolutely no concerns. You're never gonna die. Nobody's ever gonna bother you. And you can also team up with other people if they're there to level the weapons even faster. The second choice that you can do is a place called Life Ring, and that place is going to be here in Eden Grove. If you teleport to this shrine and you run to this location, you will most likely find a bunch of people killing the NPCs over here. Just join a group, farm some accessories, some weapons, etc., while also leveling up your track and also getting reputation for that place. And another place that I can recommend, I am myself not a fan of this place, but some people swear by it, and that is going to be the Elite Zone over here. This Elite Zone has a bunch of lost NPCs that you go there and, well, you kill for a while and, well, you get weapon experience, right? Not that difficult. And another thing, this one is mostly for newer players. If you guys don't know the New World community or culture, if you ever see the X's in chat, this means that they are asking for people to join them, right? You might see X Life Ring. So X Life Ring was for that location that I show you where you can level up your weapons. Or you can see like X Elite Train, right? That means that they're looking for members to join their, the Elite Train. Most of the times they will be like, it started an Elite Train, but we're starting in 10 minutes, right? And then people in chat are gonna be like, X Elite Train, X Elite Train, X Elite Train, and that means that they want to join that Elite Train. If you see X Life Ring, that means that there's like a Life Ring group that is starting. X Gorgon, that means that there is a Gorgon raid group that is starting and they want to be part of it. So the X is in chat, meaning that there is a group activity that is starting or is started and people want to join these raids to be part of it. And also another thing we have, since we have 14 days until the season start and maybe you haven't leveled up your season track, the best place right now to not only farm your season track but to also farm an incredible amounts of gold is by killing these 2 scorpions over here. So you go to Brimstone Sand and you go to this location, and if you go there, you're going to see an insane amount of people just spamming abilities non-stop in this area. And the reason why they're doing this is because whenever there is a lot of people in one area, it forces the game to respawn NPCs faster. And it respawns 2 named scorpions that they are Angry Earth, and they give you legendary materials, and people just sit there farming them for hours every single day to level the PvP track, because there's a bunch of there's a bunch of season track activities that it requires you to kill these 2 scorpions. Not necessarily these 2 scorpions, but like elite enemies, Angry Earth enemies, named enemies, etc. So by killing these 2 scorpions over and over again, you can level up your season track and you can get a significant amount of gold by dismantling the legendary items that you get and then using those fragments to sell them in the marketplace or to level up your professions. All right, and here we go. These are gonna be some of the ending tips and tricks that I got for you guys. if you are in a dungeon or in an OPR, like any place that is like an instant environment, if you go and you do unstuck, it will teleport you all the way back to the beginning of the instance. How can you use this in PvE? Well, let's say that you're in a dungeon where you need to go back to the beginning because, well, either you missed something or because there is like a mechanic where you can skip some terrain. Well, you can use stuck in a dungeon and it will put you back in the beginning. I personally use this functionality in Outpost Rush, and the way that I use it is I go farm NPCs, right? I get all of the ASOF, and then instead of having to run back to the base to be able to buy the resources or to buy potions and consumables, I simply hit unstuck, which it teleports me back to the respawn base, and it will save you a lot of time while you are traveling. The next tip that I have, or should I say the next trick, this one is not that big of a deal, but I think it's really funny. And if you are in Savage Divide, whenever you open this door, if you bring this mammoth over here to this rock and you let him charge onto this rock, he will break that rock and you get another elite chest in there. I find that to be really funny, and a lot of people from the community doesn't know that. All right, another thing is, if you are interested in the doubloon items, remember that if you don't like to PvP in the PvP island to go and farm the most amount of doubloons, remember that you can buy the key that gives you up to 500 doubloons a week, and you can also do your doubloons daily. But let's say that you already got a bunch of doubloon and you went to the well and you bought a doubloon item at the well. I don't know if you didn't know this, but you can upgrade those items that you bought from the doubloon well with doubloons. And if you guys are still here, don't forget to give us a like, sub to the channel. It does help a lot. And before I go, I would like to show you guys some of the websites that I recommend the most when it comes to a new world. The first one that I'm going to recommend is going to be New World Database. I know that some people are like, well, New World Body is actually better and it's probably more up to date. And well, that might be the case. New World Database has always been there for me. It's very simple to operate. And, it's just pretty straightforward. And on this website, you will find pretty much all of the information about every item, every quest in the game. So if you have a question about an item and you don't know where to find it, well, you can go to New World Database, type the name of the item, and you will find the item there. You can also find like weapon perks and ability perks. You can find a skill tree, etc. New World Database is an amazing place for you to find general information about the game. There's a website that I still use every single day, pretty much, whenever I have a question. The next website that I'm going to be recommending is NWChamp. This is a website that I recommend for the people that are into PvP, and this PvP site is a site that I maintain, right? I will be updating it and changing it 100% for the release of Season 10 to reflect with the Season 10. I understand it's a little outdated now, because we did take a 6-month vacation, which we came back recently. And since everything is changing in Season 10, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to wait until Season 10 comes out, because we're getting gear sets and we're getting a bunch of new perks and pretty much the entire game is changing. So I might as well change the website with it rather than updating for Season 9 and then having to do that all over again for Season 10. And the next website that I would like to talk about, and this one goes hand in hand with what I was talking earlier about the gear weight. If you are concerned or you don't know how to operate, or how to have the best gear weight to get the best out of it, you can go over here to Jay's Armor's website. By the way, I'm talking about Jay Oddity, a good friend of mine and an amazing content creator. And over here, you can put whichever one you want, all right? You can, if you go to the right side, you can put, well, I have a medium helm, right? So if you have a medium helm and you want to be light, then you select light, you select the medium helm over there, and then you calculate, and then it will tell you all of the armor combinations that will go well if you were to have a medium helm. Also, you can pick things like featherweight, which I know featherweight changes a lot because featherweight is weightless, meaning that it gives you the ability to wear some heavy pieces, which Jay's website also takes that in consideration, and it can help you min-max your weight load out. And that was it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The reason that I'm making this video is because Season 10 is right around the corner, and a lot of people are getting to max level or getting, new to the game, and they pretty much don't know where to start. All right. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you're a new player, again, just go into the MSQ. Don't worry about anything else. And if you just want to take it slow, then go ahead and enjoy the game. So be it. Remember that we stream pretty much every day. We're live on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you guys want to have ever any question, concern, any question about builds or PvE, PvP, please do not hesitate. You can also join my Discord, which my entire community is very helpful and they don't discriminate regardless if you're a console player or not. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next time. Peace.